High up in the Currumbin Valley of southeast Queensland sits Freeman's Organic Farm, a family-run property spanning more than 100 years and has been a place for healing for generations of military-serving Freemans.
I think anything in the city was just too stressful, so I found the farm very healing and very therapeutic. I'm David Gower Freeman. This is my spiritual home. So how we came to be here was my great-great-uncle Arthur Freeman was growing bananas in Fiji, but because of World War I, the government requisitioned his freighter ships. But he realised there's a huge market for quality bananas in Melbourne and Sydney. So he came out to Australia and he found this special land. As I say, the rest is history. This is how a farm looked probably 100 years ago when there's 100 acres of bananas. When I was at university, I was studying law. I did my Army Reserve training. I wanted a bit of outdoor and a bit of action, so I was lucky enough to join the Army. So I did 28 years, was discharged medically, and I came back to the farm in 2014. I think at the end of my career, I was not well. I'd had 5 tours of duty. You work in stressful situations. You carry a lot of it. You just soldier on, to use that word, but you don't realise that you are affected. And so this place was like therapy for me.
And David's not the only Freeman who's been healed by this land.
Dad could have done anything at university, but he was only 21 when he came back from the war. It's been his salvation as well. And the same for my grandfather when he came back from Germany in 1948. Even though he had a big job in Brisbane, he would drive down here every weekend and he'd stay in the farm cottage and help my father. So I think it was salvation for him as well. I knew when I left the Army that I was never going to be a chemical farmer or conventional farmer, and that my soil was so good, and if I nurtured the soil with regenerative agriculture, I could grow the best fruit and vegetables on earth. That's my quest. Well, we have 3 different mini microclimates on the farm. We effectively can grow every crop on earth on this one farm.
David's not kidding. He's got everything from bananas to pawpaws, avocados and even coffee beans. And that's without mentioning all the seasonal veggies too.
I could walk around any single day on this farm and there'd be something there to pick. And my mother also reminds me when her pawpaws are ready before the crows get them. One of the biggest challenges was the insect problem I faced. We had nearly 40% damage in our avocado orchard from what's called the fruit spotting bug. The natural predator of the fruit spotting bug is called the anastasis wasp. Right, here's my little army. Queensland Bioresources sends these little wasps out, and when my first consignment arrived, I think 8 or 9 years ago, the postman rang me up on the mobile. The parcel was vibrating, but it had addressed to Lieutenant Colonel Freeman, and he thought it was a letter bomb from the Taliban. And I went to touch it. "Don't touch it, mate." I said, "No, it's okay, my friend. It's just insects." But they were going bzzz, and the whole box was vibrating. And we staple one of these per 3 trees, and we do that throughout the whole season for 9 months. And so this is what I call my army of soldiers. So the beauty of that is I've been able to reduce my insect damage from 40% to less than 1%. When people have got an avocado like that, they'd rather come and get it from me than buying it in the supermarket.
David is also diversifying the farm into the commercial space by growing Paulownia plantation timber.
This is what's called Paulownia fortunei, the most popular sort of light timber to use in surfboard manufacture these days.
Which has local Gold Coast surfboard manufacturers like Richard Harvey very excited.
When David said that he had Paulownia growing in Queensland, locally, I went, "Oh, fantastic. It's such a nice wood to work with." And then we'll have some surfboards out of them, hopefully. It should be really exciting.
All I want on my tombstone is that he left the farm in a better state than he found it. Now, I might be here for 100 years, but when I hand it on to my sons, I want this farm to be in better shape and totally sustainable that it'll go on for another 1,000 years.
David is now sharing the healing properties of the farm to other veterans through the Veteran Organic Garden program. If you'd like to find out more about Freeman's Organic Farm, just head to wearegoldcoast.com.au.